My name is Nate Wood. And I'm a master of falling down. There's nothing to it, really. In fact, with a few easy missteps, you too could become a master. But on a more serious note, falling may not seem like the most fun activity. Most people connect falling with injury, pain, or even a tremendous amount of embarrassment. However, I have found that falling actually takes a considerable amount of skill, grace, poise, and humility. I used to believe that falling was one of the least enjoyable activities that anyone could partake in. I used to jump up quickly and glance around to see if anyone had seen, and then hide my head when I realized the whole class was looking right at me. It used to be the single most embarrassing thing, especially when I was just tripping over my own feet. Experience upon experience kept finding its way to my path, but it wasn't until high school that I started to see the true value of falling. My freshman year, I thought it'd be a really fantastic idea to try out for the musical. And don't get me wrong, it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. But still, nothing could compare to the anticipation I was feeling as the date of the first showing of our Singing in the Rain came to around. Much to my relief, the first show went beautifully, and after a few more nights performing, my confidence was soaring. We only had the last performance to finish, and I would have completed everything that I had worked so hard to prepare for. The show started off fantastically, and the crowd was responding better than ever. Nothing could have been better. Nearing the end of Act 1, it was my duty to become a policeman and reprimand the hooligan that was tapping on the stage. Sounds easy enough, right? Nope. As the name Singing in the Rain suggests, I had to complete this task while getting bombarded with droplets of artificial rain. From behind stage, I anxiously listened to the music, trying to make out when my entrance was. In practice and the other two shows, the hooligan had done this certain tap pattern that I could easily make out, and it was my cue to enter the stage. Well, during this final performance, when I got to that part in the music, I was not able to make out that pattern. As you probably could imagine, I panicked. Kept asking myself, now? How about now? Or now? Quickly, I realized that I had spent way too much time being confused, and I had run on stage to make up for the time I had lost. Before my eyes could even adjust to the blinding spotlights, I found myself performing one of the longest and wettest slip and slide runs that Ridgeway Stage has ever seen. Too shocked to even function, I sat dumbfounded in a puddle of my own astonishing natural talent. Gazing out into the rows upon rows of laughing faces. Suddenly, my shock subsided, and chuckling to myself, I got back up and finished the scene flawlessly. After reflecting on that experience, I realized that I could not even remember the falling down portion of the scene. It just seemed like I was standing, and then I was down. Standing, down, no in between. That really opened my mind because it showed me how insignificant that fall was. It was only a split second of time, and if we let our lives be ruled by moments, then we'll never be able to succeed. All that really mattered was how I was able to shake it off and get back up. Many times, life has knocked me down, but how I make a success is how I'm able to get back up and keep moving forward. A few years pass, and I've become a senior. I'm playing football, and for you who don't know, I'm a wide receiver. We had driven all the way to Illinois, and we were confident about winning against this team they called Jupo. So about a quarter into the game, we got into a huddle, and I heard them call my favorite play, the one where I get the ball. I nervously went up to the line, trying not to give away that I was about to score a touchdown. Down, blue 42, set, go! I was off to the races, and there was the ball in midair, right where I knew it would be. I reached up to snag it, and then the hard part was over. There was nothing in between me and the touchdown. Except the safety. No problem, I thought to myself. I can just juke them and make them go flying in the wrong direction, while I easily prance into the end zone like an elegant gazelle that had just escaped the clutches of a hungry lion. Well, halfway into my juke, my legs decided it would be a great idea to jump for some unknown reason. Next thing I knew, I was suspended in the air and the safety hit my legs. Everything seemed to go in slow motion as I tumbled head over heels in midair. I landed with a loud thump on my rear and sadly nowhere near the touchdown zone. But that didn't stop me. I popped right up as if I had done that intentionally and continued with the game. We went on to score that drive and win that game in overtime. Upon hitting the ground after my half flip, I had a choice. I could have easily given up on myself and the team, making me that one guy that made the mistake of trying to be an Olympic hurdler. Rather, I chose to get right back up and became that one guy that did that sick flip and helped the team win the game. Again, when you fall, you always have the choice to get back up. That choice is what determines the outcome of the situation. Sure, falling has its ups and downs. But the positive outweigh the negative. Each fall provides a chance to become better, to learn a lesson, and I have chosen to capitalize on those chances and even encourage them in my life. The coolest thing is that I'm not the only one who has realized this. The coach of my favorite team, the Green Bay Packers, at the time when they won their first 2 Super Bowls ever, Vince Lombardi says, "It's not whether you get knocked down, but it's whether you get back up." And he also said, "The greatest accomplishment is not in never falling, but in arising again after you fall." That sums it up right there. True character is shown through how you get back up and making that choice to get back up. Lastly, I'd like to leave you with the lyrics of a song sung by Chumbawamba, who was also inspired by the idea of getting up and moving forward. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. Thank you.